So, hey guys, I've been. Hope you all are doing very good. So, why I'm here for? Well, I have something interesting to say. Everybody is right and wrong. Everybody have their own opinion on things they want to share on, and it's just okay to have opinion. You might have your own opinion, which is different to mine. Mine might be different from Elon Musk, even though he is world's one of the richest person, and from the success side of things, he is much more superior than me. But humans are not about all superiority, I believe. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the intelligence. We used to think intelligence was scarce, intelligence was the thing which helped us to be on top of evolution, or be in top of matrices which increased our survival chances. But I believe intelligence was one of the part of it, and I'm not separating the evolution from human part. Human have built and created a system around it, so this was also a part of evolution, of course, which is seems unnatural. But what is unnatural? Humans are made by nature, and of course, we name it artificial, man-made things. But if we really want to talk and want to understand honestly, nothing is unnatural because we have created it, which came from nature itself. So this is a term which divides us, and we try to define words using it, and maybe it's necessary, maybe it's important, but for the context of this conversation, it's not. What I mean by intelligence is that is not that important compared to what I used to think so. The reason I'm telling you is when I did not had AI, we all did not had AI. I was actually one of the first people. One of the first people. You guys are also one of the first people to use AI. Only maybe 1% of world is actually paying for AI. 10% of the people are using AI, and rest of the world have not used AI yet. Like if you go to any village, they might not even heard of ChatGPT, or they have used ChatGPT to maybe generate a Studio Ghibli. But a lot of people on the planet don't have phones, don't have smartphones, which we think is necessary for anyone at this point. What I'm trying to come at is, but I used to think, at least personally, that intelligence was one of the important thing to be successful. But right now, to be successful, I think you need to drop your IQ, drop your intelligence point, and lower your intelligence to do something. Otherwise, fundamentally, when you try to do something, you'll be like, come on, man, we are not anyone. We are a story telling ourselves, and that telling ourselves is also a story. So whatever we are working on is meaningless in this world where uh, in a meaningless world, and we are living in a like nihilistic philosophy, or you might go into absurdism or existentialism. That does not matter. What matter is you just try to question yourself, and of course you be more intelligent. But what's the point of it if it's not helping you? Execution is important. Execution is much more important than it used to. Right now AI is helping you to execute. Yeah, what matters is, like, let me give you some solid advices. What matters in the world is to minimize the time between idea and execution. You have a very grand thing in mind that you want to build this application, you want to create $1 billion company, and you want to get into content creation, or you are going to get into content and automate the process. So now everybody on the world be like, yeah, it is solving a problem. And that's not how $1 billion problem solved. It's that you need to act fast. You need to ship the version, like 80-20 principle. That 20% is needed. there is a misconception on the 80-20 rule, that we try to be so productive that we focus on 80% and leave the 20%, because on the 20% time you can do almost the 80% of the work, of course. But when you are seeing something from an art perspective, because otherwise you are just gonna get burned out. You are doing 80% of five things, and because you want to be productive, not because you want to do it. Because if you want to do it, you still want to put that 80% effort into it, because it's your art, it's your creativity, it's what you are trying to do. Otherwise you just become slave to money, and I became slave to money at some point. Right now maybe not, maybe in future the perspective might change and I become an entirely different person, because that is essentially possible. Just take any psychedelics or get into meditative state, vipassana, and you will understand what I'm trying to say, like detached. But detached does not mean careless. It's to see things more clearly. Like if you are detached to something, does not mean that you are careless of that thing. It means that you want to see it more clearly. Let me know if that makes sense. And Claude Mythos just launched Mythos 5. I mean, it's called Fable. The reason is, it just saw so many vulnerabilities. I'm not sure about if it is real or not. I just need to trust Anthropic blog post at this point, but and blog post and the people who are working at Anthropic. But yeah, because we are coming into a world where intelligence is becoming so cheap, and I used to have a notion, and we all used to have a notion that AI is gonna automate all of the tasks. No, it's not. The reason is, I think you all guys know Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes the target, it ceases to be a good measure. So, like when the AI agent can code that better, it is trained on the targets. What is the target? Like when in coding, in terms of coding, PR, how good the code is, if the code is working or not, in what way the code is written. So those are the outputs, and we train the outputs so it can give as good as output. But the underlying process behind those output is not trained. Of course, it is trained, but it's not that specific because it's not written out there. It's an internal thing, it's an internal feeling. And I will not deny that AI is very bad at it or AI is not good at it. I think system thinking is still one of the things which AI excels at, but it's still a human thing. It's still a thing where human have the leverage, but you are not supposed to compete with AI, because if you compete with AI, you are fucked. You are fucked in the sense that either you are doing something and AI might be doing it, but if you're trying to compete with AI, even though both are the domain, then you are just gonna get burnt out again, because it will be a competition. It will not be fun for you. So you should pick up the things. And in this world, even though I'm this young, still all people have gone through some existential career crisis. Right now we are in a world where the career shift so fast. If you see 200 years, 500 years ago, people used to do only one job. Even 50 years ago, people used to do only one work. Right now, you are into web development. Tomorrow, you are getting into software development. Next day, you are going into branding. So, the pace of job is changing, because we humans need to be adaptable to any situation. Uh, that increases our survival chances. Uh, Survival of the fittest, not survival of the strongest or survival of the tiniest or survival of the most intelligent being. So intelligence helped us in a certain way, but yeah, I think you got my point. So till this point, I don't think so you have learned anything valuable. And if you want to take away anything from this yapping video, it's that Find out what you love to do. Change your identity. Changing your identity does not mean your identity, previous identity was shifted. It was that acceptance that you can change your identity whenever you want to. You are not an introvert person, you don't have ADHD, you are not bad at communication. It's your identity. If you really change the identity, you can be anything. So the point is not to suffer, because when there is a concept, there is a dilemma as well, that we don't try to suffer even though suffering is an emotion, but when you're happy then we think, yeah, we should be happy, but then we are just being slave to happiness. I think I talked about it a bit, but I'm not sure how much if I've been deep in this, or at least said, uh, I don't remember, or maybe I recorded, I haven't uploaded it, but the point is, it's good to suffer, or it's good to be happy, it's good to be boring if you're intended to. So when you became detached, uh, like you will, I think, if you have gone through, you will get it. That might be a question that, oh man, we are detached, we should not be doing anything because we are getting attached to something. The problem of detachment is not getting attached to something, otherwise no innovation would have happened. If you are not obsessed enough on something, it's very hard to innovate on some things. The point which we should remember is, getting attached is okay, but if we think that only attachment is there, then that's the problem, that we are stuck in that attachment. We should be mindful that, yeah, we attach, that's not the problem. The problem is that we are not able to detach from it, because attachment is a very novel thing. It gives you emotion, it gives you things which makes you human, which makes you different from any other being. And right now we are standing at the stage where you can say anything on the internet and people are not gonna listen to you, like mine, but and people are gonna listen to you, but nobody listens to me because nobody should. I just say random things, and there is no point of this video. The entire point of this video is, I didn't came the point which I wanted to, but okay, my intention was different, about how software work actually. You know, we are building software on top of, we are creating software from scratch, but instead of that, I think there's a better way. Like, of course, you can build software from scratch if it needs to, but right now most of the things which we are thinking to build should not be exist as a software. It should be agent native, built on top of open source framework like Paperclip, Multica, Hermes Agent, or whatever. N8N. N8N was a thing in the past, but I'm saying that it's just easier to manage, and you are not, and most people are not software developer. If you show a code base to people who don't have AI, they cannot understand a shit, except for few type of people who are, who have been coding for past 20 years. I have not been coding. I started coding around, when I was in standard fourth. I joined 2015 I learned HTML. On 2014-15 I learned HTML. Then I tried to go into Java, software development, on mobile application. Then got into web development, then got into JNV, then I did nothing. Then I did Python, Angelus Vue, Python 100 the Python challenge, and I knew a coding, but right now if you show any function in any code, I cannot, maybe I'll not able to say what it is used for. So it's okay. It's okay to forget things. Forgetting is one of the part. It's also a survival mechanism, because if there is a thing, let me give you an example. If I've gone through a big breakup, maybe, you might get so pain, but after a certain time you'll be like, you will try to see things that, oh shit, this girl was not good, this boy was not good, he was doing things, he was doing this type of things, and she or he was a really bad person, and you associate everything. Like, for example, when you get out of from a friendship due to some things, you attach all the bad things that happened to you or that happened to that relationship, even though it is not. That's your brain changing your memory in a as a coping mechanism. So that's also a coping mechanism, and it's okay to do whatever, it's okay to say whatever. It's just being mindful that you are something behind your brain. There is something behind your brain, and we all are that, and we all are connected. I know, virtual hug, bro, but yeah, we all are connected in a way beyond this. I mean, fundamentally, we are made up of the same matter, which formed over 13.8 billion years ago. And, then there was this. I'm not sure about if you know about this negative gravity thing, like how the Big Bang started, because there was some critical issue on if the universe is parallel or if it is like that or if it is sphere type of thing, and how the cosmic microwave background, I mean the image of it, is so similar on all of the sides, but it was on trillionth of second, universe expanded uh, rapidly, and there was nothing initially, and that nothing become the charges. There were a soup of electron, proton, neutron, photons, but photons were not able to go out of it because the universe was so hot and things were so tightly packed. And after a certain point, the cosmic micro, what we see as a cosmic microwave radiation, or the image in general, is when the thing actually cooled down and structure formed, then the photons are able to pass through, and that's uh, red shifted to infrared. And yeah, I don't know why I'm like it, like telling all of it. I can tell a lot of things, and yeah, peace.